This is Ben, Liam and Bell on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Welcome to Butt Hash.
Butt Hash.
Oh, God, this is a fun episode. I think show of the week, guys.
Yeah, and remember last week, I'm pretty sure Friday, again, show of the week.
Yeah.
It's like we just need a really long run-up, and then we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a nice show. It flowed, you know?
Enjoy. I've caught you out, Ben. This is embarrassing. Gee whiz. What you do in your own time with your own social media is completely fine with me.
Yeah.
But when you're messaging companies with the Ben, Liam and Bell account, that's when it becomes a little bit of a problem. I know in the past, in your own time, you're more than happy to sometimes message a company and be like, I love your products, because I think you've told me in confidence that you think because of your blue tick on Instagram, you'll get sweet discounts.
I see what I've done. So I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I've got a blue tick. It's nice. And I will use that blue tick sometimes to my own benefit. I will message. Why is that a piggish move?
It is a bit
Just
piggish.
pay what you owe, Ben.
I do pay what I owe. I'm just saying sometimes if you message a company and you got the blue tick and you say, hey, what's that cost to do that thing? And they go, oh, it usually costs this, but if you if you want to do it, maybe we'll waive a certain fee. And I go, oh, no, you don't have to do that. But secretly I'm going, thank you very much.
Stop.
Well, look,
No.
if you're going to be doing that sort of stuff, maybe just make sure you're on your account instead of the Ben, Liam and Bell one, because Bell and I caught this yesterday, but you messaged firewood.com.au trying to get a sweet deal on Australian hardwood. And the best thing, you're like sort of just inquiring, like this is probably the first message they've ever got asking about their prices on, because
DM.
most people would just click on the website and it would be obviously all there.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about this message is that they have not budged. They've gone, hi Ben, hardwood is $4.50 per tonne and $80 delivery charge.
Yeah.
The best way to order is call this number. Let us know if you've got any questions. You obviously didn't respond because, you didn't get the outcome you were looking for.
That's my mistake. I was under the impression that I was on my personal Instagram, not on the Ben, Liam and Bell Instagram.
Well, don't worry, mate, because I'm the kind of friend that will call you out sometimes, but I'm also the kind of friend that's going to look after you.
What did you do?
That's why I called firewood.com.au and posed as your manager
F off.
to try and get you a better deal on the firewood, because obviously that's what you were looking for in the first place, right?
F off.
That's
so embarrassing.
There may be some obligations on your behalf.
I don't want to do that.
It works out well. If they get a bit of promotion, you get a bit of firewood, everyone's happy. You know what I mean? So have a listen.
Thank you for calling the Green Centre. Speaking with Bo.
Hi there. My name's Ricky Sislak. I run a boutique management service for media personalities, and one of my clients is really interested in your firewood.
Okay.
I believe you got a quote for $450 per tonne and an $80 delivery charge.
Okay. So how can I help with this one?
Is there a special discount for media celebrities?
We don't really deal with that too many, like, influencers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not really like a protocol system.
Don't deal with many firewood influencers.
Yeah.
I manage Ben John Harvey, the radio host and philanthropist from Nova 100. Are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not, sorry. I don't listen to the radio, but that's fine, it's relevant. I can see if the gentleman who deals with the social media stuff is on hand.
That'd be amazing.
Beautiful. Give me one moment, please.
Firewood.com.au.
Not looking good so far.
Chopping wood has a rustic manliness to it.
He's got a great voice, this guy.
Before the internet was invented.
Thank you for holding.
Oh, no worries at all.
So the price that has been quoted is the price that's set.
Yeah, is there any social media posts Ben could do in return with the wood?
Generally not. It's not really something that the owners are essentially across, like the whole social media platform kind of stuff.
Perhaps on TikTok he could do a silly dance next to a campfire, or I don't know. That's just, forgive me, that's me brainstorming. I leave most of the ideas to Ben.
what I think the best course of action would be whoever handles Ben's social media, if he wanted to just direct message our social media, like our Instagram account,
Yeah,
the owner
yeah.
of the company is the one that deals with that.
Final offer, 8 grid posts for a ton.
I can't, that's not something I can...
Worth a try. Worth a try,
Yeah,
hey?
yeah, no, I appreciate that. But yeah, you're probably better off, again, just reaching out to the Instagram account and have Michael kind of liaison directly.
I'll do just that. Thank you, Bo. You have yourself a wonderful day.
8 grid posts for a ton.
What can I say, mate? He doesn't know you. Looks like you're paying full freight for firewood.
The worst part about all this is I did a bit of research on firewood, and they seem like they were genuinely the best company for it.
That's why they've got enough business. They don't want to know you, mate.
Now I can't go there. Like, I can't buy firewood from those people.
Nothing beats a cozy winter getaway or escaping to a tropical paradise.
If you're thinking about an early winter escape, whatif.com has just the place.
Check out great accommodation deals across Australia on the What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel.
Ben, you got married a year ago this weekend. So congrats on the 1 year.
Thank you.
And you, the night before, you weren't together, were you?
No, so my wife Sam, she stayed at the venue where we got married.
Yep.
And I stayed at home.
Because I think that's traditionally how it works. I'm getting married at the end of the year, and my partner Sarah and I, we've decided that we're just going to stay together the night before because it's just too hard. Yeah, it's just sort of like it's just easier if we're just all in a place together because we're getting married back in Adelaide. We don't live there anymore, so we're just going to get like an Airbnb with some friends and stuff.
You've never slept together though before, right?
Oh no, of course not.
You've never had relations?
No.
Because it's out of wedlock.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, she'll be in a white dress. Makes sense. So are you staying at home or are you staying away?
Well, an Airbnb, yeah.
Okay, so it'll be nice. It'll be like a nice final night. It's not like you're just at home.
Yeah, well, I think we'll just get some pizza the night before or whatever and just chill. And then I think,
You've already planned the food you're going to eat.
Well,
you could do better than
Typically
pizza.
it is funny that you
Pre-wedding pizza.
It's funny that you said that because that is it's a good point. I did say to Sarah, she's actually planned it all and booked the Airbnb and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we get pizza the night before. It's like, thanks for helping, buddy. Gold star, good stuff. Yeah.
You think the night before her wedding she's going to eat carbs, fat, grease, and salt, and, and be walking down the aisle with pizza in her guts?
I like, though, that you're breaking tradition land because I remember with my wedding when they're doing the run-through with the celebrant, there's a lot of things that they say in weddings that you don't actually have to say.
That's it, and we're not. We want a pretty short ceremony. We're not religious people. We just we want it to be like a bit of a party.
Yeah. We culled so much stuff that they normally say. We just cut it all out.
Just get rid
Yours
of it.
still went for a fair while though, Ben.
Oh, jeez. Bell's just got some edit notes on Ben's wedding a year later. Yeah, if I was being brutally honest, the last 15 kind of lagged.
I thought it was pretty punchy.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I didn't have a seat, and I remember standing for a while.
Oh my god! There was laughs, there was tears, there was everything.
I'm just saying, it was
thought it
still
was a great
nice.
wedding,
I
mate.
just
Thank
thought
you,
it
Liam.
wasn't a quick one.
Well, here's the deal. Because we're already breaking that tradition, and I think we're going to do like a first look. So I'll see her in the wedding dress before the aisle and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Just to spend. Well, why not?
Yeah, nah. No, don't do that.
We did a first look at my wedding as well, Belle.
Nah.
Well, we already know Belle's thoughts about your wedding,
Yeah,
so
whoa.
no need to get into that.
No, I think that's bad luck.
No, it's not.
That's bad luck.
You
talking
spend
about?
Belle, you spend all this money, like you spend all this time,
Yep.
and you're planning this whole thing. Why would I want us like on the actual day of the wedding? Why would I want to see her at like 3 p.m. when
Yeah.
we're just sort of in the same sort of vicinity the whole time?
Also, the thing that I really liked about doing a first look was, obviously on the day you're very nervous, but when I saw her and she saw me earlier in the day, all of a sudden the nerves all went away, and then you got to actually be in the moment during the
Right.
ceremony. You weren't so nervous.
But I like this. I like the idea of people just going, yeah, I know that's the usual way to do it, but we're going to do it this way. And that's why I'm thinking of suggesting a Star Wars wedding.
Okay, what?
I know the planning's pretty well underway. I think Sarah's locked most things away, so it might be a little bit of a lightsaber in the works. However, why have a stuffy tuxedo when I can wear? I said tuxedo weird. When I can wear, Jedi robes.
Misha Liam takes Sarah.
Yeah, Ben could be the celebrant, and he could, do it as Jabba the Hutt. That'd be pretty funny.
Serious question. do people do themed weddings? Like
I
you
think they
see,
do.
you see articles online, but has anybody ever actually been to a themed wedding?
Because she might be off the idea, but Sarah loves Star Wars as well, and I personally think she'd look really good in that white Padme outfit from Attack of the Clones.
Oh yeah.
If you know, you know.
I'd be curious to know if anyone listening this morning has had or has been to a themed wedding.
You see photos of them online and stuff, but I personally have never been to a themed wedding. Like, if it's like, we're doing, Knights of the Round Table theme, or like spooky themed wedding.
13 24 10 is our number, Melbourne. Give us a buzz right now if you have been to a themed wedding or if you have had a themed wedding. Smoz joins us now. Good morning. Have you been to a themed wedding?
Good morning. Yes, I have.
Tell us about it.
It was a LARPers wedding.
Oh, cool. Live action role play wedding.
Yes.
Oh, geez. So did someone come in on like a horse, or how did the ceremony roll out?
They didn't go too big, but everyone was in their armour, and at the reception, the tables were all set up as their clans.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, sweet.
So did they get married as their characters or themselves?
They used their own names, but they were both in, he was in his full armour and she had her big dress on.
Well,
I'm not in the community, so I don't know the words, but it was a very cool wedding to be a part of.
So hang on, because you're not into LARPing, does that just mean like there was a bunch of knights and like round table people sitting around and you were just in a normal gown?
Oh, no, I borrowed my friend's armour. I'm getting into
You had some armour.
That old friend that always has some armour.
I love that, like you walking around the wedding like, that bitch wore the same armour as me. Like, oh, I saw that bitch wear that armour to the last wedding. I can't believe she's reworn that.
Megan in Heidelberg, good morning. Tell us about the themed wedding.
Hi, guys. I have been to a pirate wedding.
A pirate wedding! It's so funny that they just loved pirates, or Pirates of the Caribbean, or?
No, not so much that. They actually travel on tall ships, like the Young Endeavour and those sort of tall ships. So they decided to get married. The ceremony was on the Pollywood side, which is a landlocked ship down next to the Melbourne Convention Centre.
Right, so Megan, you actually just are friends with pirates?
Yes.
Did you...
Not so much pirates, but sailors.
Did you, as a guest at the wedding, have to come dressed up as a pirate?
Yes, we did.
What did you wear?
I made my own costume, so I made a sort of frilly skirt and a pirate shirt and a vest.
And when they were doing the ceremony, did they, was it like, yes, I do?
Was it nautical themed?
Yeah, do you take him to be your lawfully wedded husband?
No, not quite. They had a proper celebrant all the regular stuff.
Was the celebrant wearing an eye patch, though?
I can't remember. Quite possibly.
Might have been the peg leg. Yeah, it would have been one of the two. It would have been one of the two for sure. Oh, thanks, Megan. Sam in Mornington Peninsula. Was this your wedding, or was it a wedding that you'd been to, a themed wedding?
Yeah, our family member's wedding. It was a Willy Wonka wedding.
A Wonka wedding, those people would be very excited with all the Wonka movies coming out at the moment. We were talking about that a little bit yesterday. Was everyone just sort of wearing candies themed
There would have been a lot of chocolate.
Was there only one Wonka allowed?
Well, basically, we got like a golden ticket invite.
Cute.
That's cool.
And it was wear purple or wear something Wonka themed. So I went with a kind of silky purple gown. The bride had like the kind of Wonka suit, the purple suit with the top hat kind of vibe going on.
Whoa.
But the really interesting thing was the groom actually did a runner.
Oh,
So we rocked up. Yeah, so we rocked up to the wedding and it was just the bride and everyone ended up hanging around and eating all the candy.
Oh my God.
There's so much to unpack, Sam.
So Sam, they were so into Wonka and they were so, this sounds like such a beautiful couple.
They got so caught up with the Wonka thing. Or maybe the groom's like, dude, this Wonka stuff is so stupid.
He took it too far.
I love you, Sally, but I just want a normal wedding. It's so embarrassing. My parents are from another country. They're flying over and you're making them dressed as Augustus Gloop. It's not.
You reckon,
it's not my thing.
The groom and the best man were driving to the wedding and he was like, dude, I thought she was mucking around, but she was serious.
Fully, she's got a chocolate river plan. It's too much, man. I can't do this. I'm not marrying her.
So sad.
It's embarrassing enough to be left at the altar by yourself, but to be left at the altar dressed as Willy Wonka.
Dressed as Willy Wonka. There's no coming back from that.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Yeah, if you give us a buzz, 13 24 10, get on for the quiz and you win. You'll get to pick the next song we play. Plus, we'll give you some tickets to Pink.
Claire in Altona, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Well, you're not going to be great after you hear this. R.I.P. to Jerry Springer. Yeah, died overnight. 79. It's a pretty good innings. What
Very
did the crowd chant in his shows?
I don't know.
Don't think about it too
Jerry
hard.
Springer's show. Like, what did the crowd say when they started getting
They used
rowdy?
to root for him, you know?
Da-da,
Da-da, da-da, da-da.
I don't know.
Claire.
You're obviously more of a ready, steady cook kind of kid. You weren't watching
Maybe you
Jerry.
liked Maury Povich a bit more.
Yeah, maybe your daytime TV differed to us growing up. Tyler joins us now in Endeavour Hills. Do you know what people used to chant at Jerry Springer's show?
Jerry.
Jerry,
Very good.
Jerry, 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 Jerry. Yeah, I really thought you'd come along with that one, Belle.
Yeah.
Victorian school kids are being asked to come up with the mascot for the 2026 Commonwealth Games. How boring. What about a sloth? Where are the Com Games being held in 2026?
I reckon this is going to stump a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because no one cares.
Tyler, if it's Victorian students designing it.
Victorian students designing it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Where could it be?
I know this one.
Yeah.
It's like right there.
Sort of
yeah.
right there. It's so close to home, you know. It's so like...
Victoria?
Yeah! Melbourne. Yeah, can you believe it? It was here like in 2006, and then also I'm pretty sure it was in the Gold Coast like a few years ago, and I was there, and I remember like it was the quietest I'd ever seen the Gold Coast because everyone left.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, we don't want all these outsiders coming in.
Yeah, but now it's going to be Melbourne and the outskirts. So a bit different, changing it up.
There you go. Hey, this is a bit sad. Carlton star Jacob Wiedering has been scammed out of his life savings. How much do you have in your life savings?
Oh, gosh, that's a good question. Probably like 5,000.
Yeah, nice.
More than
bad.
I've got, I'm telling you. At least your money's smart. You got to have a little bit squirreled away. Thanks for being honest. Beyonce is apparently fighting a $3 million tax bill. What's $3 million divided by 500,000?
3 million. Fuck, you asked me to do math. Oh, sorry, I was from Florida.
Oh, you know, I didn't really notice it was a swear word until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
6:12 on a Friday.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think it's fine.
Tyler, just like how many times would 500,000 go into 3 mil?
So 1, 6.
Yes! All right, last question. You're on the home straight. Katy Perry has lost a court battle against an Aussie fashion designer, Katy Perry. Can you finish these lyrics?
Don't ever look back. Don't ever look back.
Yeah, you're a pop gal, and you're going to see Pink. Congrats.
Great. Congratulations, Tyre. Due to overwhelming demand, Pink will play a third Melbourne show on her Summer Carnival tour, Marvel Stadium, March 12 next year. Tickets on sale now. Head to livenation.com.au.
And I'll tell you what, Tyler, it seems all the stars are coming to Melbourne, not just the Commonwealth Games athletes, but you've got Pink there, also Fatboy Slim playing tonight, Sydney Myer Music Bowl. So would you like to hear Rockefeller Skank this morning? Or would you like to hear Praise You?
No, we're going number 1.
You're going Rockefeller.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, either way,
Yeah.
it's a Fatboy Slim kind of day here in Melbourne. Thanks for playing, Tyler. You are listening to Nova 100 with Ben Lehman Bell.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother.
And how many times did you hear this growing up? Jerry Springer. Especially if you had a day off at school. Well, unfortunately, he's passed away at the age of 79. And Fred joins us now on the line. He's over in America. He was a producer on the Jerry Springer Show, which was a wild program. Fred, what was Jerry like?
Well, Jerry was a great guy. You know, he was a very generous guy, very kind. You know, came from humble beginnings, but, you know, he was there working as late as everyone for the show. You know, it was a very difficult show to put on. And produce. And, you know, there's there's a lot of crazy people in America. Most of them are from Ohio, but it's kind of is what we call the South of the North. The South is kind of the crazier half of the country, and Ohio's in the North, so all the crazy weirdos would come from Ohio, pretty much. But he was great. He'd stop and give anybody time that want to talk to him, all his fans and stuff. He'd sit there signing whatever they had for him, and he just he's a very genuine, kind person, and one of the best jobs I ever had.
So, Fred, how much of the show was TV magic, and how much of it was real?
A lot of people think the show is embellished or made up, and I can honestly tell you, it's really not. There's a lot of weird people out there. So some of it was spun up because people lead pretty boring lives. Some of the ancillary details would be kind of embellished or propped up a little bit, but for the core stories were real. I mean, I was there and I saw, two big brothers fight each other. One came out and said he was sleeping with his girlfriend. He got knocked out, and we had to cut the commercial. I mean, it is a pretty crazy time, and it's definitely pretty strange.
So you're telling me that episode when there's the pregnant woman and she's like, I think my husband's been cheating, and then Jerry's got the card and he's like, well, guess what? He was cheating with a stripper, and here she is. And then she comes in and she's like, guess what, Lisa? Your husband wants me. And then they start having a cat fight and they take their clothes off. You're telling me that was real?
Yeah. Because, I mean, you have to remember some of these small towns in America, our studio audience is bigger than the town. So people get really nervous on stage, and you have to kind of, and they a lot of times they think they're there for something else, and then they get shoved out right before, we're like, hey, guess what? Your husband's cheating on you with his wife, with his sister. Yeah. And then we just shove them out there, and they're kind of in awe because they don't know what's going on, and then they see the lights, the studio lights, and the crowd cheering, and that's why people look awkward on the show.
Wow. Fred, in your time on the TV show Jerry Springer, what was the most memorable episode for you?
So some of my people that I booked was Hillbilly, the Kung Fu Hillbilly. The best two guests I ever had on the show were these two twin brothers from Virginia. Yeah. They're just jerks, they'd pick on people in their town. Yeah. The night before the show, we kind of had to hang out with the guests to make sure they wouldn't get arrested or, smoke crack or anything like that. They're just like, the brothers from Step Brothers, the movie. They just beat up each other in public. And so I was like, what do you guys do? Because you don't work. What do you guys do for a living? He's in like the worst Southern accent. They're like, well, we sell drugs. I was like, okay, what kind of drugs do you sell? He was like, well, we take a mason jar and we take a dump in it. I'm like, okay, so what does that have to do with drugs? He's like, okay, so then you take a piss on top of that, and then you put a balloon on the top. You put it out in the Virginia sun for a while, and the balloon blows up, and then you take it to the local high school, and you sell it. We call it butt hash, and we sell it for $5 a jar. And he's like, no. So he's like, you poke a hole and you get you high for about 2 minutes, and then you have the taste of poo in your mouth for about a week.
Jerry! He lives on! He lives on!
He does.
Oh, my God. Look, that has been an insight into the show that we will never forget. Sure. We really appreciate your time this morning, Fred, and all the best, mate.
You as well.
Isn't it crazy? It's a TV show that I watched a lot growing up, which in itself was probably problematic. Because the content on that show absolutely would not fly this day and age.
It's so middle America, isn't it?
It's a TV show that could have only existed in the 90s and the early 2000s.
They pretty much took semi-unstable people and shoved them in the spotlight, but also people that had such wild stories.
Yeah, like one of these.
To set a world record, this woman had sex with 251 men in 10 hours.
And everyone's like,
You're not changing channel, are you? You're not watching Big Brother or Family Feud when that's on.
Absolutely. This is just another one of the moments from the show.
Today I'm here with my husband and my ex-husband, which also happen to be father and son.
Ooh, what's Jerry gonna do this this one.
It's just they all end in fighting as well.
They do.
It's all
And
fighting.
nudity.
We were watching some.
Fighting and nudity.
Yeah, we were watching some this morning where I don't know what was even going on, but there was like 7 or 8 nude people dancing around with like silly string, and then there was 2 people on the show. And they started fighting, and they ripped their shirts off, and then there was more nudity.
That's an episode from season 8, Braless Brawl, I believe.
Braless Brawl, if you want to find that one.
We were talking about themed weddings earlier, and Sam from Mornington Peninsula's mate had a Willy Wonka-themed wedding, but that wasn't the good part of the story.
The really interesting thing was the groom actually did a runner.
Oh!
I'm sorry. We rocked up. Yeah.
I mean-
So we rocked up to the wedding and it was just the bride and everyone ended up hanging around and eating all the candy.
It's embarrassing enough to be left at the altar by yourself, but to be left at the altar dressed as Willy Wonka.
Dressed as Willy Wonka. There's no coming back from that. Oh, what an unreal story. I think we've got to do this morning now. 13/2014. Were they left at the altar?
Honestly, before hearing that Willy Wonka story, maybe it's me being naive, I never thought anybody ever got left at the altar. That just seems too brutal to even think about.
It's Hollywood, isn't it? It's like, if you're in a situation where you're like, you don't want to marry this person, at the very least, like a week before, it would be a horrible thing to call off the wedding that late, but that's when you'd be doing it, right? You wouldn't be doing it on day of going, nah.
And as funny as it was, she was dressed as Wonka and she got left. And yes, that is funny. But it is also very sad. If we have people sharing their story this morning, do you promise not to laugh too much? Because it's sad.
Oh, yeah, no.
I definitely. I promise not to laugh too much.
Just not too much.
Yep.
You know?
If you've been to a wedding where only one particular party rocked up, 13/2014, you can remain anonymous.
Yep.
We would love to hear from you this morning. I mean, God forbid, if you were left at the altar, we would love to hear from you. 13/2014.
Because really, when you think about being left at the altar as well, it's actually sometimes if the person doesn't love the other person enough that they don't actually want to get married, you're better off leaving them at the altar rather than getting married and divorcing in 5 years.
Well,
I reckon I'd rather Sarah divorce me after a week than leave me at the altar. I reckon just thinking if you really had to boil it down, you know what I mean?
13/24/10. Did they get left at the altar?
Jordan joins us now. What happened?
So I'm a hairdresser, and one of my clients, I did her wedding hair and everything like that. Was set up to be a beautiful day and everything. Anyway, the wedding happened and stuff, and I saw her for her next hair appointment after the wedding, and I asked her how it was and everything like that, and she's like, "Oh, we're not together." So what happened was they got married and everything like that, and they hopped in the limo to go to their hotel for the night.
Yeah.
And she turned to him and said, "Well, all I wanted to be was your bride, and that's all I want, so I'm done."
Oh,
what?
I know.
Hang on. So she broke up with him for no particular reason in the limo after the wedding because she just wanted to be.
She just wanted to be a bride.
You know what? It's like Muriel's wedding. It's exactly that storyline where she just wanted a wedding so bad, she just picked someone and said, "Yep, had a wedding," and then went, "Yeah, I'm done."
I've not actually seen it, Bill, so thanks for...
Jordan, that's
I've
wild.
never seen it either.
No,
you've not?
For the
Are you
record,
serious?
I also haven't seen it.
That's 3-1.
Hang on.
3-1.
Hang on. Iconic Aussie film from the 90s.
Belle, are we terrible, Muriel?
Exactly, Liam.
I know the
Good
line.
boy.
I just never thought to watch the Tony Collette film.
Jordan, thank you very much for sharing that story. Jackie joins us now in Point Cook. Jackie, tell us, did they get left at the altar?
Yes, absolutely, in real foul fashion.
Oh, no.
She turned up and only 2 of the groomsmen were there, and the best man, which was the brother of the groom, and the groom weren't there. And then one of the groomsmen walked up to one of the bridesmaids and privately talked to her, and we could see their faces because they're at the back, but we're all sort of now looking like what's going on. And sure enough, it turned out that the bridesmaid had an affair with the groom during the engagement period. She had threatened him a couple of days earlier or whenever. I never found out exactly when.
Yeah.
She had threatened him that she was going to tell the bride
Yeah.
before the wedding.
Yeah.
And so he ended up not coming to the wedding.
That's
thinking
crazy.
that the bridesmaid had already told the bride.
So the
So then the bridesmaid had to tell the bride. and there was tears and upset everywhere. There were family members. Oh, that was the other thing, actually, which sort of gave it away as well. His parents weren't there. We knew something was really wrong, but, everyone started gossiping and saying, oh, my gosh, they must have all been in the one car. Oh, I hope they haven't had an accident. I hope this, I hope that.
Yeah.
Something's happened to them, thinking because they're all from the same family.
Well, he did have an accident.
Yeah. I reckon there would be better vibes at a funeral, I must admit. Like, that is like the worst possible tension I could imagine. Like, the bridesmaid who is there is telling the bride that she
ended up leaving, and there were like about 3 or 4 guests from obviously someone, they were obviously associated with her, they left with her. But everyone else other than a few members of his family left, but we all stayed to comfort her. And obviously everyone's just standing around and it's like a bit of a traffic accident right in front of us. And rubbernecking. But what ended up happening, we ended up deciding to go off to the reception because it was all paid for.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Jackie, I was going to say, when you said we stayed there to comfort her, I thought in brackets you also wanted to say, and eat the free food.
Yeah. No, we thought we'd do the right thing and stay. She wasn't there, but there were sausage rolls. But we just thought if she came back, we didn't want to not be there. So, we had a few free drinks and it was all apples.
Jackie, that is a wild story. We appreciate you sharing this morning on Nova.
Ben, Liam and Bells. Fast 5. Thanks to What If. It's Aussie for Travel.
30 seconds on the clock. 5 questions in front of you. If you can get them all right, Stina in Brighton, you're going to score yourself $1,000. How good is that?
That's great.
And just pass. Like, if there's any you don't know, just pass. I'm sure there'll be plenty of time at the end to get back to them. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Which Disney movie features the characters Woody and Buzz?
Toy Story.
In which Australian state is the city of Ballarat?
Victoria.
What was the name of US President George W. Bush's dad?
George W. Bush.
What is the nickname of the Queensland State of Origin rugby team?
Pass.
If your birthday was today, what would your star sign be?
Today, pass.
Queensland State of Origin team! You're on a hot streak! You're on a hot streak! Oh, the Maroons. The Maroons, and you'd be a Taurus if you were born today.
I thought you had it, Stina.
Well, so did I.
Oh,
Liam, you can't just yell at people if they
Queensland
State of Origin!
I don't know. That's how my dad taught me to drive. And
I would have said Broncos anyway, so I would have been...
bugger. Oh, no worries, Stina. Well, thanks anyway for playing. Obviously, jackpots again. $1,100 to be won at this time Monday.
One thing is guaranteed in this world. It's not death. It's not taxes. It's on a Friday we give away the Friday meat tray.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of shush thanks. Time for Ben, Liam and Bell's Friday meat tray.
We do it every single Friday at the end of the show. We give a Friday meat tray to our favourite caller, and it's all thanks to Ashburton Meats. They're more than a gourmet grass-fed butcher. They're also home to the world's #1 butcher apprentice, Ashburton Meats, High Street, Ashburton.
Before we get to the best caller of the week, we have to give an honourable mention to a caller, Liam, who's also called Liam.
Yes, who called through and told us a story about his badass grandpa.
My grandpa's 78 and he still rides dirt bikes.
Whoa. Does he do like sick tricks and that sort of stuff? Or?
Yeah, and he still goes pretty well in it.
Your grandpa is the definition of a crusty demon.
Oh, Liam.
But the winner this week is Karl. He called through to tell us about how he plays when the partner's away.
I thoroughly find splitting wood therapeutic.
Sorry, did you say splitting wood, like cutting wood?
Yeah, so we cut the wood, season it, and then I split it.
Right.
And it's one of the most therapeutic things. Also, I wash the windows.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Very simple tasks, but you find it therapeutic. Karl joins us now. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Hi, guys. Love your show.
Oh, thanks, Karl. Appreciate that, mate. Do you ever listen to the podcast while you're out there in the field chopping wood?
I do. I do when I'm driving along. And, I'm very, very humbled to have got the caller of the week.
Oh, Karl, we are so happy when someone is grateful for getting the Friday meat tray because it is the highest honour you can receive on this show.
It is.
Karl, before we give you the Friday meat tray, it's been a bit of a theme on the show this morning that I'm actually after some firewood. Have you got, do you reckon I could buy some off you, Karl?
No, I did hear that this morning, and you don't have to buy it. If you want to go and pop round and join me for a bit of fun splitting, you're more than welcome to it.
Honestly, Karl, that does sound like something I would do. I would come round and I would earn my keep. I'd chop some wood with you if I can take some of it home.
Absolutely. It's all yours.
All right. Sounds good to me.
We might make a social video out of it. Just 6 hours of Ben cutting wood with Karl.
Ben, for
I can live stream it.
For firewood, you don't need a blue tick with this man. You just need friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, Bill. All right, Karl, we're going to shoot you the Friday meat tray. Are you ready to catch it?
I certainly am.
All right, I'm going to put it into the meat cannon now. Usually takes about 10 seconds.
There you go.
Okay.
Almost there.
Still coming.
And...
Jeez, a lamb chopper's just arrived.
Oh, Karl, we love you.
Good man, Karl. Enjoy the Friday meat tray.
I want to make like a little show intro where it's like, the show's about to start. Jeez, a lamb chopper's arrived. It's Ben, Liam and Bell.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.